Uh-oh. Did Chi-Chi almost explode? Well, yeah. As did the Breakfast Club of Combat, it seems. Hey guys, MasakoX here. It's been a while, but it's good to return to a story which has undergone the most in terms of evolution and progression since I started it, pretty much a year ago now? Back then, I was a little cautious because it's a topic which could easily go wrong, or at the very least, not be as compelling or original as people might expect. I think there have been several iterations of this question that have done the rounds over the years, and a problem which I feel a lot of them run into eventually, and hopefully work around, is that Dragon Ball isn't inherently alluring, nor is it inclined towards things other than cheeky slapstick here or there, or the odd nod to fan service, so as to play off of a joke, as is the Toriyama way. But thanks to support from my friends and colleagues, especially on the R&R server, we have gotten something that we are pretty proud of. Today, we ask and continue the supposition about what if Goku was female? The short answer is, realistically, not all that much. Goku is still the same spirited go-getter with the desire to get stronger and prove themselves. However, this version has a lot of added bonuses, which makes them a lot more engaging and integrated with the rest of the cast, and therefore have stronger friendships which extend past the typical settings that we see within the typical Dragon Ball arc. You know, they're actually doing stuff together. Goku and Bulma are now firm friends, and they learn a lot from one another, and Goku spends equal amounts of time in the city as well as in the countryside. What this all means is that there is a lot more cohesion throughout the team. These guys can actually bounce off each other in combat, and thusly be able to topple over threats much more efficiently, greater than the sum of their parts and all that, and that's why we call them the Breakfast Club of Combat, since they are a ragtag team of different personalities, which through adversity, and a little bit of surprise here or there, formed a very strong bond, which has been tested on many occasions, especially recently. In the last part, things reached their breaking point, but this time not on the pod, which was carrying Krillin and Goku. That tension was relieved thankfully, and the two of them were pretty established in getting their training down after putting all that tension aside, putting the feelings of the heart on the back burner. However, on Namek, things got very heated between Chi-Chi and Yamcha, especially when it was revealed that Chi-Chi had held back a chance to get stronger from her friends for the sake of personal betterment, as well as trying to show off to Goku that she is stronger than her. And don't forget, that is what you voted for. So all this fallout, yeah, that's on you. How did she get this? Well, she got it via cheating, and it led to them getting into the thick of it whilst trying to collect the Dragon Balls from Frieza's ship. And it also led to Chi-Chi almost being torn apart when using Kaioken to a higher degree than ever after just getting her potential unlocked. She had no idea what Kaioken times 10 could do. The most they'd done before was times 5. She basically rushed through things, and therefore, she nearly lost her life over a spot of drama. Hurry, Goku. We need you to stabilize this social situation. I never thought I'd hear myself saying that. Goku making a social situation better. With Tenshinhan, Chi-Chi and Yamcha heading back to base, the Dragon Balls in their grasp now, at least they were able to do that, Frieza is unaware of the seriousness of the situation. Where was he? Oh, he was just in the mountains finding Namekians, as you do. He was overseeing the affair whilst finishing off the rest of the villagers that he and his two mooks were getting stuck into not just several minutes ago. Frieza isn't exactly horrified nor saddened at the situation and the sudden disappearances of Dodoria's and Zarbon's battle powers from his scouter. He never really showed hints of any sort of affection towards anyone, especially them, but he did notice one thing. He noticed a sudden burst of a power that was almost half of his own power. Half? That can't be right. The darn thing must be broken. But still, that power must be greater than Zarbon's anyway for both he and Dodoria to be suddenly gone. I suppose I'll have to call off this playdate, Namekians. I'm needed back at my craft, but don't think of wandering off too far, you hear me? I'll be back. Ta-ta! When Frieza gets back, he sees his ship is totally out of commission. Parts are on fire, panels are hanging off, and one thing's for sure from all of this, they're not going to be leaving anytime soon. Wishing to find out what happened, he contacts a random soldier who confirms what he had hoped wasn't true earlier. The Dragon Balls are gone. Frieza demands that soldier appear right before him to report further, but instead of doing so, the soldier gets a blast to the face so as Frieza can vent some of his anger. Those scoundrels haven't heard the last of Lord Frieza! It's time to call the GINYU Force. Because heaven forfend Frieza actually doing the dirty work? No. Back at base, the gang are processing what they've just done. They managed to get the Dragon Balls and can make the wish that they needed to. But at the same time, their friendship has really been put through the ringers. It's almost non-existent. Yamcha isn't speaking to anybody. Chi-Chi is unconscious, and Ten Shinhan is the guy who's trying to report to Bulma what happened, but is also pretty flustered beyond belief. Dende is the only one here who is acting rationally, and he just lost his parents, and he's reminding everyone that they need to get on with what they came here for, and that was to bring back Chaozu and stop Frieza from using the Dragon Balls. However, Yamcha is getting irritated and tells Dende to take him and Ten Shinhan to Guru so that their potential can be unlocked first. The young Namekian is scared too to go, especially now that Frieza probably knows about what they just did. It's dangerous to go alone out there right now. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's foolish. Yamcha doesn't care though, and insists on this, grabbing Dende with Ten Shinhan in hot pursuit, trying to bring them back. When Chi-Chi wakes up, she can barely move, and asks where the others have gone. Bulma, trying to stay out of all of this, simply states that they went to Guru's tower with Dende. Boys. Chi-Chi reflects upon this, and then breaks down in tears. Not only did she act so selfishly by not telling her friends about something important earlier, but she may have just thrown them to the figurative lions with Frieza out there on the prowl. Little does she know that she better be ready for more than that. Sure enough, the GINYU Force arrive, with Yamcha and Ten Shinhan getting their powers unlocked by the Elder, who urges them to make their wish on the Dragon Balls, as he can feel that his life energy is dwindling fast, by the second in fact. Whatever issues that they have with each other need to be put aside until all this has passed. By the time they get back, they see Chi-Chi looking and feeling terrible. Yamcha, now powered up, tries to act like nothing happened. Okay, alright, well the wrong's been righted, and they can get back to the job at hand, everything's hunky-dory now. It's not as easy as that. Chi-Chi doesn't see it that way, nor does Ten Shinhan. This rift is deeper than that. Power creep is becoming a major problem, and who knows what might happen when Krillin and Goku arrive. How strong did they get? But for now, they need to put on a brave face and get on with the wish. Dende breathes a sigh of relief. Finally. Porunga is summoned, and our heroes are amazed by his difference in stature and power, and the fact that he actually has workable arms in comparison to Shenron, but time cannot be wasted. Dende asks for the wish, which is easy. Bring back Chaozu. Done. Chaozu appears back on Earth in the same place that he was felled, completely bewildered. Porunga then says that they have 2 wishes left. What? 2 more? Huh. They didn't think of that. Well, maybe they could bring Goku and Krillin to Namek right now instead of a day later? Done. On the ship, Krillin and Goku are training in midair, but then suddenly disappear and collapse in a heap in front of the group. Krillin gets up and flails around thinking that this planet isn't breathable, but it is. Relax, Krillin, it's fine, says Goku, patting the chap's shoulder, before looking at the dragon and panicking herself. What is your final wish? For you to stop what you're doing, ruffians. Captain Ginyu is on the scene. Both the 2 newcomers are trying to process the situation about finding themselves on Namek already, and how they got here, and where Chi-Chi is, but Yamcha frantically shouts, "No time to explain!" And the gang power up to Kaioken ×5 in their new power. Wow. With the pair of them excelling 100,000 easily, this is enough to make Jace a little nervous. Kitten? Do you see what I see? Ginyu isn't nervous because their power is still less than his, but when Goku sees and feels their new power, she and Krillin are eager to join in, and they power up to Kaioken ×5 as well. But these guys are even stronger. The training on the ship meant that Goku reached a power of 90,000, and Krillin at 75,000, thanks to the gravity training, his desire to impress Goku before their date, and sheer human determination. With a 5 times boost, which is easy for them to both use, all the scouters nearby shatter, and this distraction is enough for the group to rush the troop together. And it's now a 4v4 tussle between the Breakfast Club and the GINYU Force. But wait, there's 5 of them in the GINYU Force, right? Yeah. Goldo, having realized this power, used his Time Freeze ability to get behind Dende and cover his mouth before resuming time, and holding the young Namekian hostage. The fight stops for a moment, with Ginyu congratulating Goldo for his remarkable shrewdness to get the jump on these hoodlums who destroyed Frieza's ship. Now, Namekian, listen closely. You are going to do what I say, or else you can kiss your sorry posterior goodbye. Understand? Dende frantically nods. Good. Then you shall address that dragon of yours up there with this simple request. Grant the power of immortality to Lord Frieza. Everyone is shocked, but Dende sighs and nods, and Goldo, the diminutive GINYU Force member, loosens his grip and begins to address the dragon in his native tongue. Of all the nerve, that little squirt Dende betrayed the gang! Or did he? Suddenly, the GINYU Force feel a compulsion to do something, and it's not posing. Something that they would never do. Normally, that is. Something has come over them. But they can't resist it, they can't control it. And instead of Dende betraying the gang, the GINYU Force are about to betray Lord Frieza. Ginyu, without so much as looking at our heroes, turned to face the rest of his comrades. Come, comrades, let's go home. It's like Ginyu doesn't want to say this, but can't stop saying it. And with that, the 5 of them fly away. Goku and Krillin look a little bummed to not get to fight people, but as the dragon disappears from view, Dende starts to laugh. What did you wish for? Yamcha says, now realizing that the kid hadn't turned on them. I wish for the GINYU Force to go home. Everyone is stunned. Just go home? It sounds like something a kid would ask for, but either way, that's one less menace to deal with. Also, the Dragon Balls are no longer able to fall into the hands of Frieza, which is something. With Frieza thinking that the GINYU Force, having gone home, had done what he'd instructed them to do, giving the wish, he bids them goodbye. They go home, not really paying attention to what they were saying. As far as the Emperor was concerned, doesn't matter what they were saying anyway. They must have done the job and convinced the group to do what they said, and now Frieza is immortal, and is now free to do whatever he wants to this planet, to anyone else, and all that was still alive to bear witness to the sheer terror of his might and will, now immortalized. Who knows? These Earthlings might prove to be useful in his elite squadron, maybe. Or maybe become the successors to the GINYU Force. Oh, this is such a good day to be alive right now, seemingly. Alive forever. With Frieza occupied, the gang head back to the base to regroup, and for Goku and Krillin to be brought up to speed about what happened on Namek. Their mission's now successful, all they have to do is go home, right? Bulma's ready to pack up the ship and everything and get out of here, but Goku is getting that Saiyan itch again. She can sense Frieza's power, and with this new boundary of Kaioken that she and Krillin had unlocked on the ship, alongside her best friend especially, this should be a good time to test their new limits and not have this be a waste of time. Chi-Chi walks up to Goku and volunteers to come with her to try and atone for her earlier actions, but Goku declines the offer. But we're a team, Goku! Teams stick together! That's how we've done it for years, and we will do the same again today! Frieza is no match for us! Goku gives the group a bit of a patronizing smile there. Guys, Frieza's different. There's no mercy behind this power. I gotta do this alone. I get the feeling this was destiny for me to face him. If you want to come along, don't get in my way. And with that, Goku walks off to do some exercises outside. Bulma sighs audibly, thinking that they might have been able to just escape under Frieza's nose, but alas, no. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now, right before a poll. Today, I'm going to ask you, what happens next? Does the following happen? Does Goku go off on her own with the gang going home in the first ship? Or do the gang fight together against Frieza with Dende acting as support? Or a third thing happens. Does Frieza simply blow up the planet now that he has no further use for it, and instead wishes to take the lazy way out? He could easily do it. He doesn't like to fight. Vote now, and this will affect the next chapter considerably. Thank you all. So what do you guys think? Is the Breakfast Club ever going to recover from all of this turmoil? Will Namek be able to get out of this all in one piece? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!